Hello, my lovely spectators. It is Dee Dee here, and it is 2026. Hello, and welcome to my studio. This is my first video for 2026, and I'm just gonna set up myself to have a bunch of stuff to work with, I guess, make stuff. So I'm gonna mass make some masterboards. So probably we'll chit chat a little bit while I'm setting this up, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing, and then I will record the whole process, so that I can get a time frame as to how long this is taking me, and I will probably cut at some point and just like speed it up by like 12. I don't know. What I'm gonna use is, first of all, I love this watercolor paper from the Dollar Tree. It's $3. I find it hard to find it at every one of the dollar stores, but I like it. It's super thick, right? As you can see, very, very thick. It does have a smooth texture on one side, or no texture rather, or very, very light texture, and then a much heavier texture on this side. I'm on the fence. I feel like with the texture, the adhesion with the glue stick and stuff might not be the best. So I probably want to glue on this side, which I probably will do. And then this side will be the writing side. I also like it because it is not stark white. So for example, let me just grab a piece of, this is a white envelope that I have. This is not white paper. So it has a little bit of a tinge on the yellowish side. So it's perfect to kind of like stay away from the white and be usable. Of course, we can also distress and add other inks and stuff to it, which is something that I have a second one that I found and I was playing with, and then because I got distracted. But this is what I wanted to work on right now, so that I would have a whole book of things to use. Now, I know that other people have used other kinds of books, magazines, etc., and they just glue in their scraps and whatnot. I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I'm doing with my scraps, and I don't have a room. I literally am in my living room, so this is my studio for now. What I have this. Should have 24, maybe 23. I might have taken one out. I'm not sure what this is. So it's been around the room. So we shall see. And I'll give you a final total at the end after all said and done. I'm wondering how long this will take me. What am I using? Well, got this hunky monster. Non-toxic, acid free. It's washable. So I'm again hearing things, watching a lot of videos, and wondering whether or not this is a thing, whether washable matters or not. Right now I'm not selling anything, so I'm not going all in hard on things. I also have this little Franken glue stick because I'm cheap. And you know how when it gets to the end, there's always that little like quarter of an inch or half an inch of glue that's like up in that little cap. I'd like all those out of like 4 of them. So I'm gonna spread this out and use this as well. The other thing that I'm gonna use are these pages. Now these pages I purchased them off of Facebook Marketplace from like a Poshmark kind of posh, is it called Poshmark? Anyway, I want to say all in all this was like, I want to say $12, and the shipping seemed really high, so it wound up being like about $20 for what's in here, plus a few bits that were more scrapbook type bits. I don't know. I have a ton of stuff. I just wanted to see what other people were selling and taking a look at this. So, we did get some dictionary papers in English with a very wide border of white, or not white, but no text. We did get index pages from something. Another, probably from the same book. It says Sienna So this probably was like a travel, maybe? I'm not sure. So two of those long skinny pages. Then I was noticing like, we've got some other pages. They of course look a little older. They're still malleable, so they don't crack per se. So getting them down shouldn't be a problem. Also in English, some kind of story. Then we have a similar book, maybe the same book, I'm not sure. And it's like poem, so it gives you a different vibe and look. But again, that's if you don't mind having a lot of open space, which I don't, doesn't matter to me. This I guess this looks like it was part of this. I was fluffing through these things. Fluffing, does that make sense? I was going through these things. So yeah, so it seems as if it is places. So I probably will be removing images. I don't know. Like masterboards and images when it comes to book pages. I don't know if I will leave them in or not. We'll see. If anything is like super duper like, oh my God, I have to have that, then yeah. So all of these books pages seem to have come from the same place. So a stack of these, we've got some more of those dictionary pages, similar, right, to that. Then we seem to have like, I want to say a novel maybe, Mountain of the Moon, okay, by IJK. So random pages, nothing like a chunk. I can you see the numbers and stuff like that. They're not attached, so that's another thing that I wonder. Like if I have want to set up selling stacks like this, what are expectations? And I always thought that it would be really cool to send pages where yes, it's 2 pages, but still attached, so that the person could just like throw them into a signature or do whatever the case may be. We have another kind of book. Paper's a little different, a little more slippier than the others. But again, a different style because you have 2 columns. So, there's a variety in terms of that. Then this is a more recent. I will not use this today. I probably will coffee dye this and then, do that in another book. Let's see, what does this say? The greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. Okay, this is like triggering because I'm a high school teacher and I feel that teaching has become a really difficult profession because administration has allowed students to do just this. But that said, we're not going to dwell. But it's not going to be used because I can cut these words out and use them. I mean, danger, I don't know, but I can use them. Or maybe I want to just do a ranting journal and I'll just have this as one of the main pages. So I'm going to put this to the side because it's not going to be used today. The other thing that came were some of these ledger papers. Now, these were attached. I tried to stain them with some alcohol and water that I had and didn't get much color, but I find like a lot of ledger papers and graph paper seem to bleed a ton. So this was alcohol. There was no water involved. It was just wetness. And it just made everything bleed. Now, I don't mind it, but I did it to myself. They came pristine like this. You can tell it's from an older ledger book. Maybe not like super old, but old enough that there is some patina. Again, was thinking of using this, but I think I'm going to use this for another project. So I took these out already, but I'm just showing you. Then I received a ton of map snippets pages. So this little book of the thing is going to have a lot of mappy things in it. And I have to decide how I want to do the map. So what I mean, well, first of all, is to look at it, right, and say, what do I like better? Now, these boxes being so boxy, do I want to stick to this side so that I don't have those breaks in the lines? Plus, it's a lot more white on this side. Again, I'm not opposed to the white. I just did a journal that I called Embrace the White because I wanted to keep most of the pages light, and I included white pages, and I didn't distress and yada yada yada. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to decide, like, you know, which side, and they all seem to be from different, maybe this seems to be from the US, so a US atlas probably, or maybe not an atlas, roadmap kind of book. Then we've got these little tiny, just this one little random tiny of another country, I think. I can't even, I have my glasses on and I can't even see. Maybe Trento? Anyway, someplace foreign. Then there were these that seemed to be kind of from the other one, but I had separate them because they feel their map. Now I do know that they are a little bit brighter, but they still have a grayish undertone and compared to white, so I'm going to leave them in here. And then these pieces are index pieces from the map, the road map. I feel like that's a road map situation there. It's not an atlas. Then we have another one of those slippy papers. So I do like that there's a map. I might isolate that. I might just leave it because we have other map stuff going on. So it's a matter of trying to balance maybe. I don't even know if that matters. This random little piece, which is for reserve a host, a piece of ephemera, I guess you could say. I don't know if I will add this in here to my masterboard, but we'll see. These things are from, I'm not sure, but a very long, it says Index of Newfoundland programs there. It is obviously cut out of something, so it must have been a much larger page. I don't know if that was intended because to fit in the packaging that it came. Obviously it was an older thing, somebody had, you know, written in it, which is fine. So 3 pieces of that. Then they included a piece of music that is obviously and from an older very thick too, very thick, rich feeling. Again, checking to see, this is a little bit brittle, so I want to be careful. So, you know, I just do a little check there to see it, you can see the cut, and I'm just like, see, it just, you could just pull it away. So in using that carefully. Then again, there was some music pages, very, very white. And I know that I have a bunch of music that I, you know, this is why I want to try to think about doing packets like this that has, you know, the copyright dates for these music stuff is fine. You know, we can, you know, do a lot with it. So, the renewal of the copyright, all this stuff. But this is a relatively newer print of whatever's going on here. I was sent 3 pages. Again, I did some ink, alcohol ink spray. This one seems to be a little more successful. This one, not so much, a little bit. But we're going to use probably this one and this one. I don't know. We're going to use in order probably like this and see where we go with it, and then go from there and see how much we get done. Now this was what was encasing everything. It feels like old construction paper. There's a light texture to it. Again, I'm not sure if it's 8. Oh, it doesn't come off easy, but it does make that line. This might be good to use to back some other stuff. So this won't be part of my collaging either. So now that we have an explanation of everything that's going on here, unfortunately my space is kind of limited, so things will be all over the place, and I think that I am going to collage on the smoother side. So with these guys, what I notice is when you are pulling them off, you need to be super careful. If you don't get a good pull, you can get a dent in the actual page. So prior to starting this, I just went in and I kind of like cracked as much as I could all of these seams so that it would be hopefully easier to remove, etc. So, you know, I'm just going through it again. Oh, maybe I should count them while I'm doing that, right? So that was what, 3? Let's see. No, that was more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just doing it again. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I don't know. I counted 25. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start this way because this is the smoother side. So we're just going to collage for a little bit and just, you know, give you an update on some of the things, you know, that I was doing and what I would like to still be doing coming into the, you know, new year. So I'm going to first, well, I'm just going to cut some paper. Anyway, so yeah, so when I'm collaging, I'm not looking necessarily for the straightest of edges. I want to vary the size of the things. And so I'm going to just go with that. So last year, I participated in a number of different challenges from different creators throughout the YouTube world and also the Facebook world. And so I want to continue to find those challenges because sometimes when your mojo is a little bit like on the low, you can, you know, sometimes get a little mojo back and some inspiration. And so I want to keep my mind on that as an option. So I'm going to be looking for different things to participate. So the favorites that I always, you know, wind up collaborating, I guess I would say collaborating. I'm doing their challenges and stuff like that are well, Margaret and Tony, so Seven Plaza and Crafty by Tony. You know, Margaret just did her newest video for the year and explained that they would be planning to do some of the things that they did last year. Again, this year, maybe slightly different, a few different changes, but those things were on the horizon. I also am always on the lookout for Michelle's collaborations and projects and things from the Junk Journal Studio. That is Michelle's thing, and she this year I didn't notice the first challenge that I did earlier in the year, but I know that the Christmas botanical Christmas one, there were videos and whatnot. So I'm always going to be on the lookout in that group for the next thing that, you know, she plans to bring to the table and join in that fun. Who else? Who else have I played along with? Oh, Tracy Fox. So Tracy Fox shared some time doing the collab with her. Well, not with her, but for her, I guess. I don't know. She put a call out, and I was like, hey, why not? And I wound up doing, what was it? The, oh my God, the clusters, the advent clusters. So, and I had my day, my video and stuff. And, you know, that was fun. I got to look at everybody else's stuff that they were doing. Then she had like her design team doing like full on stuff, and she had videos, and it was like really eventful over the holiday season. And actually it inspired me to throw out a challenge for us small channels. So, you know, I kind of put it to the task of anybody who was part of Tracy's collab that had been, oops, I ripped it, but that's okay. It's gonna get ripped anyway. I'm gonna have to just straighten it out. Whoever was a small channel under 1,000 to kind of, you know, mix it up and join in the fun and kind of like tell us who you are. And I don't know, I got some questions, put together some questions and threw it out there. And some people have been playing along, and that's been cool. See, I like the patina and I don't want to necessarily lose it. So I think with me, I'm gonna put these edges on the edge as much as possible, because we usually want to ink it anyway. So this will just add some, you know, additional aging. So I'm just gonna do that for now. Let's take another piece about this big, and then we'll just again, I'm just making, you know, pieces. So I will use this side, for example, and I would use that side, which are the opposite side. So let's put those 3 pieces down. And so yeah, I put the challenge out, you know, for people to kind of join in, telling us, you know, telling the world, or whoever watched it, or however and they could have tagged anybody they wanted. And some people were tagging people with over 1,000 who actually had, you know, bigger channels, but, you know, nothing as huge as the other ladies that have said, you know, 3,000 or so, because they're still kind of small, those kind of channels. And basically, you know, everybody was like playing along, well, has been playing along. I posted that on December, what was it? December, what's the word? The 20th. I couldn't think of it. December 20th. And then you know, I've been watching and I've been bookmarking and I've been, you know, commenting and thanking all of you know, the other collaborators. I will call them collaborators, but the other channels who decided to play along. And even though some of my questions were a little rough, because again, my first time, they played along and they actually did the challenge. And so they answered the questions, and you know, it's been fun to hear what they've had to say. And yeah, I know. I always say to myself, what's with the moving of the pieces around? It's just, you know, whatever. But it matters sometimes. I'm realizing that it matters. It matters. And I don't judge anymore, you know. So I don't mind that it's upside down or, you know, perpendicular, you know, the fonts and words are perpendicular to each other. But I do, for some reason, do that whole moving around thing. So that said, I did put a hashtag, and I'll put it across the screen, and I will, you know, ask that anybody who does happen to see this video that hasn't been tagged by me for whatever reason, you had more than the 1,000 my brain was limiting me to, or whatever the case is, you stumble on me, hey, by all means, check them out, check out the hashtag, and if you want to do it, you know, the information and the questions are linked in my Ko-fi shop, which is linked in the description. And join in the fun, you know, why not? We all need to get to know each other. Let's find some music in here. So yeah, so I do plan to, what is it called? Wow, it's hard to kind of talk and do stuff. Plan to, oh wow, I am just like so blah, blah. I do plan to, let's put this guy up in the corner maybe. I don't want to cover the number per se, but I feel like there's too much white space over here, or open space rather. It's not white. So rewind. On the 20th of January, I plan to search up the hashtag, make sure that I have been able to catch everybody's video, because I did ask them to tag me. Make sure that I've watched everyone's video, and you know, see what's going on and whatnot. So, you know, I can't. I want to craft. I can't always necessarily sit. Didn't I say I was gonna put this someplace else? Oh well, c'est la vie. Um, I did say that I wanted to watch everybody's video, and so I want to make sure to give myself the opportunity to do that. And so let me take a small piece of this, add some color. Let's use this one. And so I'm going to search that up, make sure I watched everybody, make sure that I'm subscribed, make sure that I thank them for the shenanigans that they have allowed me to no, they have allowed me to pull them into, and all of that great stuff. So yeah, you know, I'm just trying to build my tribe, like I said, build my tribe. You know that I watch a lot of creators, and a lot of creators that are new are referencing a lot of the teachers, you know, the big channels like the ones I mentioned earlier. And you know, we don't necessarily know or mention each other because we don't know about each other. So maybe this will spiral out and stuff. I don't have enough how do you call it, well, being Latina and but from New York and Puerto Rican, you know, my Spanish is like minimal. Cojones, you know, to like tag anybody that was big, you know, to check it out and stuff. And so it was so funny because Seven Plaza, Margaret, she tagged I Daisy. I'm not sure how you say it, but Daisy, in one of her videos. She made her a design team member. The girl, she's so cute because I did have a little bit of back and forth with her. She had made this grungy little portfolio thing that Margaret had loved, and she made one video, and it was like more of a flip through. And I was like, girl, you know, you should share your process. And her and I got to like chit chatting a little bit, and she's so cute. But she's already over 1,000 subscribers, and it was like only like a month or so ago. So I didn't even dare to like tag her, which, you know, she probably, you know, she is a newish creator. So there's a lot of white space, open space. I can't say white, open space. I'm going to take that off so I can use the back of that. Does this match up though in length? Because that is one thing that I do that other ones do, is try not to match up all of the levels, you know. And I'm changing up direction. I got to keep that up. So this thing, I told you, it was a Frankenstein. Probably of 4 different brands. A little mushy, you know, but waste not, want not, right? It's gonna get the job done. Some of you also may be noticing that I really don't mind getting the glue on top of the other stuff. That doesn't bother me. So I don't have a glue page on the side to, you know, add to this. So let's see. Let's put this one here and break up this. Maybe not. How about here? Nope, that's the same direction. How about here? Nope, we're gonna put it over here. Anyway, so yeah, so this is what I am doing right now. So I am going to continue to do this. Now, I know I said in the beginning, and I've been thinking about it. This little thing of red is kind of bothering me, so I want to cover it. I'm just gonna kind of do this. Was to kind of like just continue to sit here and like just do the whole book, and I am gonna do that. This is gonna be my goal for today, which is, it's not the 1st of January. It is actually, what time is it? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning on the 3rd. So but yeah, so I had a lot of ideas about what I was gonna do this year with my channel, and I have not even begun to do any of them. I don't know where to start. I feel a little all over the place, and so therefore I figured, you know what, let's just mass make some stuff, and we will, you know, chit chat to ourselves, and you know, just put it out there. I wanted to try to do the 100-day project that Mary Lou is doing again, and I just I don't know if I have the desire. I don't know if I have the space. Right now I'm home from work, and I don't really have a space that is dedicated. It's my living room, and it's a dedicated table, and my living room is a mess, but it's just barely functionable. I started like cleaning up and organizing. I saw Joey DeFee's video today, where she showed her space, and I was like, what is she doing in my house now? Like, I was like, wow, that is gutsy, because my space is, yeah, it's not the greatest. And so I commend her for putting it out there, and showing that, you know, her mess, right? We all have messes. And, plodding through, and she got through it, and she, getting her systems in place. And I've been doing that as well. So I was right there with her, not crafting, what is it? Not clutter, decluttering, kind of picking up. I didn't declutter very much, as neither like she didn't either. There's a lot of stuff that we have laying around that we take out and we use and whatever, and then in the process of doing videos or just crafting for our enjoyment, and then it just becomes like this thing where it's like it's all over the place, and then you're done crafting, and it's this mountain of mess that you just can't, or you just maybe don't want to like deal with at the moment. You got to upload the video, you got to make, food, you got to eat, all kinds of things could be happening. So yeah, so it was really commend her for showing, her process and getting into it, and really like, showing us that, things can get out of hand. And you know what? Even though, and this is by no means, what is it? A snub to her, whatever, or any kind of like negativity at all. Even though what she had done was still a hot mess, you know what? It was, how do you call it? Inspiring, motivational. It's like, yeah, it's okay to stop right there. And that was cool. So you know what? I'm gonna just cut this off because I want to stay within the book. So yeah, so I commend her. I commend her for showing her space. I commend her for being, truthful in terms of like, the things that we do. We all, struggle to be creative and keep it clean and be able to access our stuff. And you know what? Sometimes that mess can be counter creative. If I can make up a phrase, I don't know. See if that's a real thing. But yeah, it could be counter to creativity. We just don't want to deal with it. And you know what? That's okay. But we can do a reset, boom, and be able to kind of, so I'm going to cut this little piece off only because we're getting to the edge, and even though I said I wanted on the edge, I'm realizing that I would waste up too much paper. Now, what am I going to do with these things? Because talking about the clutter and talking about the collections and this and that, not keeping this, probably keeping this. So, yeah, I have a bunch of scraps, but not in the way that I think a lot of other creators on the YouTubes have. I get digitals. I buy some digitals here and there. Like I said, I participate in some challenges. You don't have to, but usually you buy. You want to support. So you buy whatever is part of that challenge. You get that as part of your participation, but then you buy the little bits of extra stuff that is not a requirement. I bought an extra few things from Tracy Fox. I bought an extra few things the last time, that I did my little thing with Michelle. And so, yeah, I have a bunch of digitals, and I've been trying to keep track of them. I don't automatically print them. I started to do that. on cardstock, like a, not this hard, but like, you know, cardstock, you throw in your print or whatever. And I was doing that for Seven Plazas. You know, I went back, I found all her freebies and all that good stuff. And I think, yeah, we need another piece of this, right? Definitely. So I have a bunch of her stuff, and plus I bought a bunch of her kits too, because she has been making some really nice things up my alley, so to say. I cut that too short. We'll do it again. Maybe we should, you know, yes. Let's try to not mess that up again. Concentration, duty. So, yeah. So, did I do better? I did better. Okay. So, so, you know, I started printing out all her stuff on cardstock. I made a binder and I was like, okay, I'll fussy cut later. And I put everything in sleeve. Yo, that binder is ridiculous. And then it becomes cumbersome. I bought a ton of Michelle's labels and this one's labels and that one's ephemera. And let me tell you, I started chopping things up and trying to find places to store. And I think I would have a system if I had some good space, you know, some good space. All right, we need a little piece to cover here. Let's try, this guy that was gonna be tossed because he became crooked, let's just clean him up a little bit. No, can't. No, I don't know. Should I make it that it has to be bigger than my middle finger to keep? I don't know. So yeah, because so that's with the digital thing, right? I'm all over the place. I think I'm gonna steal, what's her name? Oh my god. All right, I'm not gonna say it because I don't remember her name. I just watched her and she was talking about the squirrel moments. And I was like, I'm having a squirrel moment. I'm all over the place. So I'm going to finish up this little page, right? Let me finish my statement, which was the digitals, right? And being able to collage with digitals. I think it's beautiful. I want to so do one of those calendars like Margaret does for her dad. But I don't have digitals that I print on a regular. So I'm at a loss when it comes to that. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so listen. See, let me not do that. Let me do it like that. This has some glue on it, and we're just gonna, you know, why not put it right here? It's gonna be the one that breaks the other page. Okay. I'm not sure how long. Hopefully you stayed with me, and I'm going to continue, and I will tell you how long it takes me. So right now, okay, it's actually 150. What time is it? I thought it said 3 before, but I was wrong. It is actually 1:59. Yeah, 1:58 on the 3rd in the morning. 1:58. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna throw some YouTube, I'm gonna watch a bunch of people, I'm gonna watch a bunch of other stuff, and I'm gonna do this entire book, and then I'll be back. And then I will do a flip through, and then I'll tell you how long it took me, and then you know, we'll talk about what's gonna transpire. So like things like this, see, there's a little white edge here. I wasn't as precise. I don't know. I wasn't. You know what? The thing is, this is in front of me. Like literally, if I move my head 4 inches forward, I'm hitting the camera. I don't have like a good rig or a good rig. It's not high up. I mean, like literally, this is a 12 by 12. This is my crafting space. Anyway, let me stop complaining. Um, you're gonna see in like within a second from me pressing pause, and I'm gonna come back and the whole booklet is gonna be done. I'm gonna tell you exactly how many pages, because I counted 30, 24, 25, but it's only supposed to be 24. Anyhow, and we will look at this booklet and we will talk for a few more minutes and I'll show you the flip through, and then, you know, that'll be my first video of 2026. So I'll be right back. Okay, so in a snap, I'm back. I believe I started at 1:58, 1:59, and I just finished now, and it is 8:31 in the morning because I'm a crazy person and now I'm tired. This is what's left. And maybe a few other tiny little scraps like this of white edging from the maps that they were too thin. They just were that little tiny sliver. So let's see what I got. So I'm just gonna toss them. That's it. Whatever I showed you, that's what I used. Whatever I have left is just like I said. These two music, these two, and these three whatnots, ledger papers, and of course the two that are like more modern. But honestly, guys, everything else is gone. I mean, even that little weird coupon thing is in here. So the Jot thing said that it was going to take, it's going to be 24 sheets. There's actually 25 in here. Yeah, we're just going to give you a quick little flip through. So this was the one we did together. So that's 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. There he goes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then this is where the slim pickings happen. So you can see that throughout all of this, I changed up color tones. I tried to make them all, some of them look different, so they weren't all exactly the same. And I got here, and I guess you could kind of get a vibe that I'm like piecing whatever's left over, and then yes. And so now I made what I call mummy paper. So this was 21, 22. All those edges that I cut out, I made into this paper here. 22, another one, 23. And then I had just a little bit left, so I took that quote that I was given, and I just made a section as much as I could with whatever was left over right here. And Road to a Friend's House is Never Long. That I preferred over leading the horse to water or whatever case. So this was 24. So technically 23 and a half, right? Because, I wanted it kind of in the middle, and I kept building, around it, but, around the space, and then I plopped it right under on the middle. And so I just have the one extra, but that is the extra paper that is in here. So that is the setup for the new year. So yes, do I have masterboards that are in other places that need to be decorated? Of course. Do I have masterboards that have been cut up and need to be decorated? Of course. Do I now have a bunch of masterboards for the year? Of course, now I do. So, I don't know, maybe this is an idea. Maybe you look for this. It's really sturdy. It's really good paper. I like it. It can take water. I have, like I said, I have another pad that I was doing another experiment on, which I wasn't feeling. So I dropped that to do this one and get it done for you guys and for me. And so I'm not sure where this is going to fit in terms of where they're going to pop up out of, during my channel. But this is an idea. If you're not into having magazine pages be like the back and you want a clear back that's not stark white, this is the way to go. And then, you could, I'm going to try, maybe I'll do that as another experiment. I'm going to try doing some dyeing, maybe some coffee dyeing, some stenciling, or something on here. So being that it's 8 by 10, I'm thinking on an 8 by 10 sheet, I can do a number of things. Let's see, tags are usually like 2.5, right, by like 5. So I definitely can get like, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 5 and 5. Well, this way. All right, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 5 and 5, and then maybe this long strip would be enough for a belly band. Cut them into 4s for journal cards. Make a notch, make it a pocket. The usual go-to things that we use in our journals, and especially if you need some sturdiness. You could also cut them into strips and do edge tabs if this is something that you want to see me bring. I might do this, bring to the table, take out a page, and let's make something, some kind of thing that we could use in our journals, right? So something more generic. Anyway, thank you for watching. Maybe you'll want to do this idea. Like I said, it's $3 at the Dollar Tree. And I mean, in the beginning it was decent amount of paper, but again, a lot of them were like not like gigantic size paper, but I was able to use all of my purchase from that Poshmark thingy, and except for those few that I pointed out before, and the scrapbooking paper, which probably could have cracked that out and done the last page, but no, they're they're big pieces. Anyway, let me stop rambling. Let me say thank you very much for being here and for taking the time to watch my video, and hopefully you will comment. I know I rambled on about a lot of different things, so if anything there you can give some feedback on, that would be much appreciated. I always enjoy receiving comments. I comment back usually within a day, probably like almost after you drop the comment, because I have no life. I'm kidding, but not really. So I mean, look, I'm up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I sat here for what? Oh my God, I gotta do math. So if it's 2, so that's 4 hours and 30 minutes. 4 hours and 30 minutes sitting here doing 20 something masterboards on this book. So yes. Anyway, until next time, thank you for dropping by. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao. Bye.